Everyone's eagerly anticipating the next Trump couple appearance because, let's face it, there's always an awkward moment or two waiting to happen. Take the most recent one, for example. During Donald Trump's acceptance speech at the Republican National Convention, where he officially snagged the Republican nomination for the 2024 presidential race, Melania Trump was caught on camera doing what she does best, sidestepping a kiss from her husband. Yep, she just casually dodged it like she was avoiding a bad case of morning breath. Well, it's these little moments that keep us all on the edge of our seats, wondering what's really going on behind those closed doors.
Whether you love me or hate me, you gotta vote for me.
But wait, there's more. This isn't the first time Melania's body language has stolen the show. Remember that World Series game? The one where she smiled sweetly next to Donald for all of 2 seconds before turning away and rolling her eyes as if she was thinking, "Ugh, not again." That clip went viral faster than you could say awkward marriage, with critics quick to point out that Melania has a knack for these less than warm interactions with her hubby.
Don't be rude.
Over the years, she's perfected the art of slapping away his hand, ripping her hand out of his grip, and just flat out walking away from him during photo ops. Speaking of hands, who could forget the infamous umbrella incident in October 2018? Here's how it went down. It was raining, and President Trump, ever the gentleman, was holding an umbrella over his own head, leaving Melania to fend for herself in the downpour. Chivalry is apparently dead, at least in the Trump household. And let's not skip over their arrival in Israel, where Trump reached for Melania's hand, only for her to swiftly and subtly swat it away. The next day, despite the whole world talking about her hand-swatting skills, she did it again in Rome. But this time, she had a convenient excuse. She needed that hand to fix her hair. Yeah, right. Also, remember when Melania's yellow coat became the talk of Twitter? With her coat strategically draped over her shoulders, she set the internet ablaze once again when a video shared by NBC News showed Trump appearing to fumble awkwardly for her hand as they walked toward their awaiting aircraft. It was like watching a toddler trying to grab a slippery fish. It just wasn't happening.
Oh, and you like all her choices, or you ever like, what?
No, not all her choices, but tonight I like it a lot. She looks great.
And then there's that cringe-worthy moment when Trump attempted to hold Melania's hand while welcoming French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte, to the White House. Trump tried everything, tapping, curling his pinky, you name it, until Melania finally relented after what felt like an eternity. By the time she grabbed hold, you could almost hear the collective sigh of relief from onlookers who were probably cringing so hard they pulled a muscle. But the pièce de résistance has to be when Melania introduced Donald on stage at a US Air Force event. Normally, this is where you'd expect a sweet peck on the cheek, right? Wrong. Trump greeted her with a pro forma handshake and then, wait for it, gave her a little push, motioning for her to stand off to the side like she was an afterthought. You can't make this stuff up. And who could forget Trump's inauguration? The big day when all eyes were on them. But instead of waiting for his wife or, helping her out of the car like a true gentleman, Trump charged up the White House steps to greet the Obamas, leaving Melania to walk up alone a few paces behind him. It's almost like he was trying to set a new world record for fastest abandonment of a spouse on a historic occasion. Standing awkwardly beside his wife, Trump was no match for Obama's charm as he gracefully kissed Michelle's hand, perhaps leaving Melania to wonder what could have been. Then there was that viral gif from the inauguration that everyone was talking about. On the Capitol steps, Trump looked back at his wife, and she responded with a smile that lasted for about 2 seconds. The moment he turned away, her smile turned into a grimace that looked like she had just bitten into a lemon. Even at the inaugural ball, Melania couldn't hide her emotions. Maybe it was just a bad angle, but that didn't stop the internet from buzzing about her seemingly sour expression on the dance floor. And let's not forget that infamous like on Twitter.
We're gonna build a wall.
It was the like heard round the world when Melania's personal account hit the heart button on a tweet that read, "Seems the only wall Donald Trump's built is the one between him and Melania Trump. Ouch." Her communications director later claimed that Melania wasn't aware of the like and that they had since changed the passwords. But of course, by then, it was too late. The internet had already had its fun. Then there was the White House Easter egg roll. You'd think it'd be a simple task to put your hand over your heart during the national anthem, but it took a sharp elbow from Melania to remind Trump to follow suit. What a girl boss moment for Melania. And lastly, Do you remember his remark at a Republican fundraiser? The one when Trump took the stage and, in his usual unscripted style, joked that First Lady Melania wouldn't be overcome with grief if he ended up in a tragic situation. He compared it to Repier's Steve Scalise's shooting, saying, "Scalise's spouse cried her eyes out when I met her at the hospital that day. I mean, not many wives would react that way to tragedy. I know mine wouldn't." It's almost creepy how it turned out to be a strange bit of foreshadowing, as in 2024, Trump ended up getting shot in the ear himself. Talk about life imitating art. Well, the art of humor, that is. Well, I bet Melania was upset about this, or so her public statement said. With a track record like this, it's no wonder people are glued to their screens every time the Trumps step out in public. But what do you think? Is Melania really unhappy with Donald, or is she just not a fan of PDA? Share your thoughts in the comments.